when you see, tell. I think the society needs to first and foremost recognize that we have a violence against children problem, 1. 2, try to address it the way they can. When you see a child whose right has been violated, call the perpetrator to order. Sometimes all you need to do is to educate them. Yes, some of us violate the right of children in the name of discipline. This survey, the VAX, talked about what we call the violent discipline. No one says you should not discipline your child. That's because that's the defense people bring up to say, oh, are you saying I shouldn't beat my child again, or I shouldn't discipline my child? Even the Holy Book says, spare the rod and spoil the child and things like that. I always ask them, if the Holy Book says, spare the rod and spoil the child, I have never seen where Jesus, you're quoting, would ever use a rod on a child. Rather, he embraced children. Okay, we as a society say, oh, our culture, our tradition, our religion believe that you must discipline children. Yes, discipline.
In the last,
but what we call violence is the physical harm, or emotional harm on children.
In the last 2 decades or so, there's been a lot of awareness created by NGOs such as yours about the rights of children. So would you say that we are improving in upholding the rights of children?
I would say yes, we have as a nation. When the survey was conducted in 2014, and the federal government found it that it is necessary for them to release the result of the survey. And the president launched what we call the Year of Action to End Violence Against Children in September 2015. I think this is a very, very good attempt on ending violence against children in Nigeria. Launching it, the president called on all stakeholders, NGOs, civil society organizations, religious leaders, cultural leaders, government, and the individual, the community members, to join hands. It's not what the government can solve alone. When you see a child, witness a child going through, experiencing a form of violence in the society, the government can see it in Abuja if it's happening in Onitsha. You are the one that can see it in your community. Even if your state has passed the Child Rights Act, or has launched this violence against children survey, or has laws and policies in place to make sure to help children who are experiencing violence. You as a citizen, you as a common man, you as a community member will be the one to report. Sometimes children are not able to report because they are not aware. Even when they are aware, they don't want to find, some of them blame themselves, they think they are at fault. And when we talk about violence against children, it's as simple as saying, telling a child, the definition of emotional violence is as simple as saying, you are good for nothing, you end up becoming nothing in life. We see a lot of that every day, but we don't even recognize that as a society, that it is violence against children, because it's emotional violence against the child. You compare a child to another, it is violence against children. You knock a child, you beat a child, you tie a child up, or you even set fire on a child, all in the name of discipline. Those are things that the government has addressed and said there are laws in place.
Okay, Damilala, we have to manage our time.
What are people going to do? We're winning the war against...
Damilala, we have to manage our time. Okay. Now, this year's theme is Protect the Rights of the Child in the Face of Violence and Insecurity. End child marriage. Now, how are we doing in that respect, the part about ending child marriage?
I think, like I said, a lot of states have ratified the Child Rights Act in their states. Also, governments have called on all stakeholders. It's very challenging. We have a lot of cultures in Nigeria. We have a lot of beliefs in Nigeria that believe that children can get married in the concept. We see a lot of this happening. We see a lot of powerful people who are even committing this crime of marrying children. We have a case of S.A. I can't remember her surname.
Oruro.
That was kidnapped from a state to another state in Nigeria, and it went on social media. I think that to solve problem, it starts with dialogue. It starts with raising awareness. Around that, we've started winning the war in terms of we're trying to break the silence. We're trying to talk about this issue. Before, people don't talk about it. Now, people have started talking about it, and I think that's a step in the right direction. Ending it at the moment, we're not seeing the result yet. But at least we're taking a step by breaking the silence.
Okay.
And I think from now we're going to
we have to wind up now. Are there any penalties for anyone who's found violating the rights of a child? Has anyone that you know actually been punished for violating a child's right?
Unfortunately, most of our laws are on paper. They're not being implemented. Like I said, the Child Rights Act was passed in 2013. As of today, a lot of people are buying their bill. There are states that have the penalty. Like I made the example of Lagos State. Children, if you experience such things, you have to report. You are mandated to report, and the government, people can seek help through the Ministry of Women Affairs in their state, and the Social Welfare Department in their state, or the Child Welfare Department in their state. And then also the Justice Department in some of these states that are also, we have family courts where they actually address some of these issues. Now, it's not just about punishing or sending people to jail. It's about letting them know that what they are doing is wrong. And I think that's the most important thing, educating the people and raising awareness. One of the things we are doing at Playback Nigeria is to march for children on May 27th to raise awareness about both early marriage, teenage pregnancy, sexual, physical form, and emotional violence. And we're working with all CSOs across Nigeria to march for children on May 27th. Okay. These are some of the things people can do to end violence against children and also early marriage in Nigeria.
Before we let you go, how can we assist the young girls to stay protected against these things?
I didn't get that.
Just before you go, how do we assist the young girls to become, so that they don't become victims of violence and early marriage?
I think it's not just about the young girls. It's about every child. And the first thing is to let them know that whatever is happening to them, because a lot of times, most perpetrators are family members. They are trusted people. They are parents. So all children must know that, one, they have a right. Yes, they are children, but still they are human. They have a right. And there are laws in place that would help them when they seek for help. So they should not, they need to be told that they should not keep it in themselves. They should not live in silence. They need to break the silence.
Okay.
When they see that other people are being punished, are being penalized for committing violence against children, the act will stop. But it has to do first with educating. I'm more of educating the children about their rights, educating the perpetrators that what they are doing is wrong.
All right. Thank you very much. Damilola Akoteri of Playback Nigeria. Thank you, and Godspeed as you go on your march on May the 27th. So as we're back in a moment, please don't go away.